In this part, I will explain how I add these secondary motions. I will use a script called overlapper. It's very simple and easy to use, but if you use different secondary dynamic tools, you still can apply this process. So it's all fine. Okay, I will start with the cape first. I will just turn off other meshes. Hair, I will just turn up hair and close so I can focus on cape. To make seamless animation, you will need extra loop animation. I will explain why you will need extra loop animation. This 1 to 18 frame is just your one cycle, but you will need 2-3 more cycles. 2 is fine, but I usually make 3 cycles. I will show you why you need that. After one simulation, it doesn't give good result. The animation is not seamless. It doesn't match the beginning at the end. Let me show you what I mean. Select this or cape controller. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have selection set actually here, cape. So after selecting cape, you can play. If you go overlapper homepage, you will see introduction video, and this is very simple. Mainly you will need to change these 2 values, and default values works quite well, 3 and 1. So I didn't change anything. I will just show you how it works. And just I will explain one thing. There's an option called Conejo Anim layer. So when you apply this overlap script, this result just shows it create one layer and that keys are on that layer. So for example, after selecting this old controller, if you play overlap button, if you click overlap button, it will create simulation on top of it, and this result is in this layer, bake result layer. So this makes really easy to change to delete that. When you don't like the result, you can just delete this layer. It will just remove it. Or if you just want to try on with the other value, you can keep this layer, just turn off this layer, and you can try again till you find the result what you want. Till you find the better result. So let me try again. Select cape all, and I will change, for example, I'll try give higher value to make more smooth movement. Or try with a different value. I can make a little bit smaller number, or I can change the scale so it moves more. Or let's try number scale 2. Select all cape. Or select with my selection set, okay, and then click this overlap button. So I have different widget now. It moves way more, but I think it's too much. Let's stick with the 1 default value, which is 1. So yeah, I can just if I delete this too, it just deletes the all it just delete all widget that I just made. So I still can keep the base. Let me try again with the base value 3 and 1 and overlap. So this is the result, is starting with this pose and ends with this pose, which is not matching. Let's see this animation in back view. You play this, it will pop because first and last pose is not matching. Because we started this straight pose, it just stop. It doesn't automatically match the last pose. But we can manually match this pose. I will show you how it look like when I match that pose. You can select this pose, this K pose, last frame K pose. Select all the K, and I will use. I still can use Animbot tools, but some of you guys don't have this Animbot, so I will just stick to Red9, which is free tools you can install from Autodesk website or Red9 website. So pose manager, you can copy this pose, say pose, okay, 1, okay, and make a layer on top of this. I will just key at last frame and first frame, so I will keep this last frame pose and I will just apply at the beginning. So if I go to K pose and apply pose, load pose. So now if you just see the starting pose and end pose, it matches. So start and it matches well. So it will make a loop, but as you say, it doesn't give a good result. At the beginning there's not much movement, and at the end it starts to move nicely. So even you match the pose at the beginning, at the end, it doesn't really give good result. It's just popping. What we can do to make better result, I will delete this all layer. Delete this all, so we can start again. I will make 2 more cycles for this animation. This is 18 frame animation. I will make 2 more cycles, so it will be 54 frame. When you work on loop animation, it's always good you check your animation with this option, pre-infinity, post-infinity. I will just turn on this. Select all your controller. I have shortcut. There seems oil issue. I will just okay, better. And then turn on these two. Check this and check this, and make sure you turn on this infinity option so you can see all your animation. So if you turn on this option, you will see this animation is looping nicely. If you want to see how it moves your animation, you can turn off this layer. So this main controller, this top controller will stay in center, not minus movement. And make sure you have infinity option as well in this. You make sure you have linear, you keep this layer with a linear, otherwise you will not have, you will have weird result. Like I'll show you. If it's auto tangent, it will move like this. So always make sure your this top controller need to be in linear mode. So anyway, you have 3 times cycle animation. So it loops every 18 frame. Let's use this script once again on top of this cape. Select all cape again, and make sure you click this Conejo Anim layer. Click overlap. Now if you see this motion on cape, the same, the result is same till 18 frame, but from 18 frame, this cape movement affected from previous animation, from previous motion. This motion affect to cape, then motion already start move 18 frame nicely, then it keep moving till rest of the frame. So let me play this animation. So at the beginning here, frame 0, it doesn't look nice. It's very linear, and you start to move here, and you keep moving. Okay, looks quite nice. So let's bake this layer with the bottom layer. I don't want to keep the extra layer, so merge this layer. And select all cape. Select all cape and delete this animation till 17 frame. Delete all keys. And then select all these and move this to the frame 0. And delete all animation after 18. I will change the option. Select all cape. If you see after merging, this default option is constant. So if you change this cycle with offset, you can use just cycle, but because you can select cycle with offset. So if you see this graph, you can see is looping very nicely. Very nice loop at the frame at the beginning. At the end, it has already nice loop, so you already know it will loop very seamlessly. So yeah, it looks nice. Not bad. If you want to different result, you can try with a different value. Now, what you can do, I'll show you some another tip to make better result. I will delete this animation. Select all cape, delete them all. Do all the keys. I don't have any animation. I will just make this cape value as a 0, because I will simulate. I will use this script again. It's better starting with the default value. From here, there's no keys. But before, this motion hasn't got much up and down motion. There isn't much this rotation. There was this rotation. That rotation from this, you see this movement, there is like left and right rotation like this. So this script added a nice cape movement based on this motion. I will Control Z. Let's see again. Control Z. See the result again. So it has this nice wave cape. If you see the side view, it's just moving up and down, but the cape hasn't got this movement because there's not enough rotation in base body motion. We just added this wave left and right from the left and right rotation. So let's delete again. Cape, delete all, make as default value. What we can do, we can add a little bit rotation on top of this controller, this rotation, so it can make a secondary animation when we apply this script. Let's try this. Key 18 and 0, and I will just make I will key half at the half of this frame, 9, and we'll key around here. And then the cape will go up high around here, and when she hit the ground, we'll go down and we'll go up around here. Just before she hit the ground, it will be up. So let's select Z rotation. Graph editor. Let's select the Z axis rotation and make this one to like this. Quite same value with this one, so it can be good loop. This rotation is a bit too much, so I reduce this value like This is better. So motion looks very rigid, doesn't look very natural. But it will, when we apply the script, it will make nice secondary motion based on this this controller rotation. Let's try that. Select all controller, cape, the value. Let's try the default value 3 and 1. I'm playing with this value, base value. Select all cape. Apply with it, or apply with the default value. Select all cape. This value is a bit too high. I'll just make similar with this one. Just like doesn't look popping. Okay. Then select this overlap button, click apply this overlap. I think this movement is a bit too much, so I will reduce the value a bit. When you use this kind of script, overlap or any other secondary simulation tools, you will not have perfect result when you try once. You need to try a couple of times till you find the best result what you want to. So I'll reduce the value to. The good things is because this result is just in layer, you can just turn up, then it will just remove the value. Select cape all. Then you selected all the cape and apply this overlap once again. Yeah, it's much better than before. It's not too much. I'll test side movement, side rotation, and also a bit of this wave. Okay, you can try some more. We'll stop here. You can compare, because this result, I kept the previous result. You can compare the result or just turn up the current result. See the before it was like too much. Then turn on current value. It's a bit less and looks more natural. Okay, I will delete the previous one and I will delete the wrong layer. Okay, I'll delete this layer. I will move down this layer and I will merge this layer with the base layer. I like to keep this layer as simple as I can, otherwise at the end I will have a bunch of layers and it will confuse me. So select all, cape controller, And as you see here, just started to apply this scripts, the force from the base, and then around here has nice movement. So like I did before, I will delete this frame and move to 18 to 0 and select all 19 to 36 and delete these keys. We have nice one cycle motion. Go to graph editor and make this cycle with offset as well. Why I use this cycle with offset rather than clicking cycle? Because if you click cycle, it's hard to notice if there is some offset. It's hard to notice, but if you keep this cycle with offset, it makes easy to notice if there's any offset between 0 to 18. It will because it will keep as some values at the end, so it will not it will make obvious to check the looping is working perfectly or not. So if you see this motion, if you just check the frame beginning at the end, it will match. Just moving the frame first and last, but as you see, the cape keeps same pose. And again, has nice cape rotation. It wouldn't take much long, but if you try this keyframe animation, hand key, you can make same result. I'm sure you can make same result or better result, but I guess it will take much longer to make this smooth movement. So there are two key points to make seamless secondary motion. First, make your animation as 2 or 3 times loop animation. And second, add some movement on the first controller to make extra movement before you apply secondary motion script. In next part, I will explain how I add this hair secondary motion. It is quite similar process. Okay, let's move on to next part.